Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting program, and welcome to today's show. Some of you are watching this program on Channel 3, on Telstar 401. Some of you are seeing it on Channel 18. So we do want to inform everyone that our uplink has had the need to move us to Channel 3, and we understand it will be a permanent move. Our gospel program will continue on Channel 18, but the shooting show will be on Channel 3. So we wanted to certainly mention that to you. We have a great show for you today. We have some information. We have a great feature on the new 5-shot conversion that we've had loaned to us for a feature on our program, 5-shot conversion on a Ruger Bisley, a big 45 Colt. I think you'll find that interesting. And also we have some things, the judge has some information that is going to be essential. Friends, I tell you what, time is short and we've got some real problems here that have to be dealt with. So incidentally, we will be at the Soldier Fortune Convention now. In fact, yours truly is supposed to be hosting the manufacturer's demonstration out at the range on Saturday. So mark on your calendar now if you'd like to go. It's September 18 through the 22nd in Las Vegas. It'll be a great convention. We would certainly enjoy seeing every one of you there that we possibly could. So if you do come, please look us up. We'll be walking around the convention hall there. We can be found. So anyway, well, let's have another shooting show begin. We got a great show for you this week, friends. Things are happening so rapidly all around us on the front for firearms and certainly for personal freedom. We're going to start this week's program off with a somewhat unique gun. This is a Ruger Bisley single action in 45 Colt. You say, well, why does Johnny have that recoil glove on? Well, this is not just any old 45 Colt Ruger. This one has a special 5-shot cylinder from Phillips & Rogers down in Conroe, Texas. And this gun is designed for, shall we say, loads that far exceed the standard cylinder on the Ruger. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of horsepower, believe me, in a fairly light and compact package, certainly. So let's begin today's program. We have our disc over here on the other hill over there a couple of 100 yards. And let's begin today's program. Let's let another shooting show begin. And now, just for fun, since we're here, we've got a watermelon down here under the steel disc at our 100-yard range. Let's see what that big jacketed hollow point does on our watermelon. Environmentally friendly, 100% biodegradable target. Woo! Fairly spectacular. Well, friends, we're looking at this Phillips & Rogers conversion on this Ruger Bisley. Now, they also do this on the Vaqueros, the Ruger single actions. They'll take a regular 45 caliber single action and put a special 5-shot cylinder in it where you can take the 45 Colt on up to a rather dramatic level as we saw a little earlier. Let's do that now. Let's demonstrate something. We have some standard 45 Colt ammunition, and in the picture you can see it has a great big lead bullet as compared to our new special load here that we have cooked up for this thing. Let's go ahead and shoot a water bottle here. Shoot the one on the left with a standard 45 Colt round, and then we'll shoot the one on the right with this supercharged hand load. Now, these things are in fact really loud, so I'm going to be sure my hearing protection is in really well. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and shoot the target on the left, our water bottle there, with our standard 45 Colt factory round. This is a non-Corbon load now. Because Corbon makes a high-performance 45 Colt for use in like the Smith & Wesson or in these Rugers for that matter. But let's take a look at it briefly. Okay, you see there? Punched a hole in it, in and out. And of course, those old soft drink bottles tend to be a tougher plastic, so they'll hold up fairly well. We see it's just the water's just running out. Now then, an identical water bottle over on the right, but this time we have a super-powered jacketed hollow point in this 5-shot cylinder. Well, I think that demonstrates fairly well. We're talking about shocking power. What can I say? Well, these are indeed a very powerful load. Now, friends, let me show you something. We're shooting a 260 grain spear bullet at about 1,440 an average anyway, feet per second. Well, heck, that's pretty darn fast. That's faster than any stock 45 Colt load has ever run. And as you've heard me say on the program before, if you've got a 357 or a 38 special or a 9mm and you just want a much more powerful gun, what you have to get is a bigger caliber. Just get a bigger gun. There's no point in ruining a fine gun. And that's even the case with these Rugers. A standard Ruger Blackhawk with a 6-shot cylinder, if you want a 44 Magnum, well, just go buy a 44 Magnum, because your standard 45 cylinder, and briefly, let's compare. This is the stock cylinder that came in the Ruger, and it's a 6-shot 45 Colt, which is a very strong, very solid cylinder. But compare it to this 5-shot cylinder and look at the dramatic amount of metal that is between the holes on the 5-shot cylinder. Well, that's the custom cylinder from Phillips and Rogers. Now, you can't just order a spare cylinder. They make some changes on the hand there, the pawl that turns the cylinder. It has a different a star there for manipulation, or a different ratchet, I guess would be more grammatically correct. But they really do work well. It's a very nice conversion. Plus, as the folks at Phillips and Rogers said, they told me that the Ruger castings vary a little bit. They're very high quality, but they require a little fitting. And so all you have to do is send your gun to them with the request. Now, they also make a 45 Win Mag cylinder, which I think would be a terrific, the 45 Win Mag is a terrific cartridge, very underestimated, I think, very underappreciated. But they make a 5-shot cylinder for the 45 Win Mag also, which is a terrific cylinder. Now, the 45s use the standard Ruger barrel. They take one of these same guns, or say a Super Blackhawk, like my old Ruger here, and they will put a 5-shot cylinder in it and change the barrel out, and so the gun can shoot the 50 Action Express cartridge, which I had some real reservations about the 50 Action Express in the revolvers, because you have a taper crimp. You don't have a roll crimp like the revolver cartridges do. But a friend of ours up in Kansas explained to me some reasoning why they haven't been giving trouble. And if your cylinder is cut right, the bullets won't have a tendency to pull forward. Now, that's what we're hearing from people that are shooting these guns. So it appears that it's going to be a lot better deal than I initially thought it would. I had some serious reservations about that. In fact, one of the problems that you'll run into on this heavy 45 Colt is, if you're not careful, you'll outrun your bullets. Now, we have this 260 grain spear, and looking in your picture there, you can see that one of these bullets is just perfectly mushroomed out there, and the other one has come apart. Now, we touched on this a few weeks ago with the 45 Win Mag cartridge in this Grizzly here, talking about the case and the cartridge had the capability to literally outrun the bullets that you'll commonly encounter. And that's going to be something to look at here. In fact, I understand now why they're saying a 250, 260 grain bullet is really light for the 45 Colt case in one of these big cylinders, because the cartridge has a lot of capability. And this is what happened here. The one that came apart is running at 1,440, and the one that mushroomed is running at about 100 feet per second slower, about 1,340. So that's the difference in the bullet holding together in the medium we shot it in. And honestly, I don't know the performance that this bullet that came apart would have on a game animal such as a deer. I darn sure would not want to shoot a hog or a black bear with one. Anything could bite you back, because I just don't know. I would opt for the heavier 300 grain bullet. And in fact, a friend of ours who has done extensive work with these 45 Colt cylinders on these guns, the Phillips and Rogers conversions here. He's going to send us some 412 grain bullets, hard cast bullets with a gas check, and we're going to experiment a little bit with loads according with what he sends us. And no, we're not going to give this out over the program. If those of you who really want one of these guns, you can research it yourself. But we're just showing what the guns are capable of. And these hot loads are only for use in these conversions, like the line ball conversions. Hamilton Bowen makes some conversions. And this excellent one is, of course, from Phillips and Rogers. And this cylinder is made of stainless steel. It's blackened, so it won't have any glare. And that's a service that they perform. And what you get here, and of course, again, this is only for the experienced hand loader. This is not for everyone. If you don't hand load, well, you can go buy you a 454 Kazoo. But believe it or not, the 45 Colt cartridge with a good case, not an old case. It's got to be a fairly new case of good manufacture. As we understand now, Federal cases and the Starline brass is really good with a proper case like that, not an old balloon head. Heck, I've never even seen an old balloon head case, tell you the truth. But they were dating from the black powder era. Realize the 45 Colt is over 100 years old as a cartridge. And the reason it's so big because they could stuff a lot of black powder in these things. With 40 grains of black powder, with a 255 grain lead bullet, heck, some of those old original Colts would go over 1,000 feet per second, which in those days, that was pretty hot. And even today, it's no joke, but not nearly as powerful as what we're talking about here. But it was still a serious defensive cartridge, and that's what it was. And a cartridge like that would be effective on deer at the closer ranges, certainly. So the 45 Colt was sort of your original black powder Magnum revolver cartridge in its day. And realize in 1873 or so, along about there, when the 45 Colt came into use, well, heck, cartridges weren't but a few years old, and nobody really knew. You know, they didn't know what was going to happen with with a lot of the cartridge situations. But anyway, it is a grand old cartridge with a lot of potential used in the proper vehicle, in the proper launching pad, and that is extremely important.
You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Give them a call, 1-800-345-6923, a very inexpensive subscription price. Again, 1-800-345-6923. Subscribe today.
Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, what do Jim Clark Sr., K. Clark Michalik, Jerry Michalik, and Jim Clark Jr. have in common? You can find them all at Clark Custom Guns in Princeton, Louisiana, one of the finest custom gun shops in the entire country. They offer all sorts of custom packages on 1911s and other semi-automatics, from race guns to custom carry guns. They also offer a number of different custom packages for the Ruger 1022, and also have some very economically priced new 1022s in stock. Clark Custom Guns offers some of the best revolver packages available anywhere, including action jobs on your Smith & Wesson or some other fine revolvers. In addition to custom work, they also have a completely stocked gun shop
anything from bullets to powder to accessories that you might want. Clark Custom Guns offers some shooting classes. You need to call for availability. Friends, it's certainly good for the shooting show, but good for yourselves when you call and get a Clark Custom Guns catalog. They have all sorts of things listed about their products and services and excellent prices. Give them a call. Area 318-949-9884. Again, 318-949-9884. Clark Custom Guns, the complete custom gun shop. Give them a call today. Tell them you saw it on the shooting show.
Friends, Clark Custom Guns has the new 400 Corbon barrel in stock, which is a drop-in barrel for the 1911. So give them a call. Also, if you'd like to attend the 3-gun match coming up this fall, call Clark Custom Guns at area 318-949-9884 and inquire about the new 400 Corbon barrel. And also, if you're interested in the 3-gun match, we'll do that today.
Now, friends, just to give you another example, here is the Phillips & Rogers 5-shot cylinder. This is a 45 caliber Smith & Wesson cylinder. And so you just don't have the massive amount of metal there around each hole on a standard revolver configuration as you do with this big conversion. Now then, friends, to do a little comparison here, we have several. Here's your 45 Colt. And notice here's the 44 Magnum on your left here, and see it is quite a bit bigger. One, the cartridge case for the Colt is just slightly, it's about, in fact, about the same length as the 44 Magnum, but due to the 44 Magnum case construction and plus the bigger diameter. Now see, you don't think there'd be much difference in a 44 and 45, but a 44 is actually a 43, a true 429 thousandths, whereas this 45 Colt is 451 thousandths. So it's 20 thousandths difference, but it's 20 thousandths all the way around. So you can definitely see the difference in the 44 and the 45. It's quite a bit larger. And let's go back and look at some other cases. This is a 45 Winchester Magnum, and we found the same situation. Realize here in comparison to the 45 Colt, the 45 Colt has a 10% greater case capacity than the 44 over here or the 45 Win Mag over here. So that was something interesting we found. Okay, just for comparison purposes, let's take a look here. We have the 45 Colt here, the old black powder looking type load, that old big lead bullet. This next case is a 45 Schofield, which was the military round, which is the Smith & Wesson Army revolvers or Frontier revolvers didn't have cylinders long enough to take the full 45 Colt, so they shortened the case there and loaded them down somewhat. This is a Schofield case here. We don't have any loaded ammunition, but so we compare it to the 45 Colt. This is 45 ACP and a 45 Auto Rim here, and just to show you a variety of 45 cases. Now, friends, to give you an idea, typically the Ruger single actions are pretty accurate guns, and it seems like the 45s, when you push them on up, apparently the rate of twist in these barrels is compatible with, shall we say, faster bullets, and they're doing really well with the faster bullets. As I think I said earlier, our friend in Kansas is going to send us some 412 grain bullets with a load that will take them out of this 7.5-inch Bisley at about 1,200 feet per second, which will be a tremendous amount of power. Now, when you get in that bracket, you're actually approaching the 45-70 rifle round, which actually will be an excellent hunting cartridge. You'd need this glove to hold on to it, I would imagine, but it ought to be an excellent deer or elk. Even a pretty nice bear cartridge in that sort of package. 412 grains at 1,200 feet per second, friends, is serious power. Let me show you something. We were shooting it for accuracy earlier, and we got about a 1.8-inch group for 5 shots at 25 yards from a rest. Now that's with this single loading that we're using, the 260 grain bullet there running at 1,450 feet per second. Well, that's darn near 1,200 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Honestly, it looks like in these 5-shot revolvers that the 45 Colt is capable of really approaching the 454 Casull, and although the Casulls are $1,500 and super accurate, one for probably about a third the cost
or so in that bracket of the Kazoo, you can have a gun that is darn near as powerful if you are an experienced hand loader. There are some things that come into play when you load the 45 Colt with a lot of, say, H110 or 296 powder. You don't use a standard 45 expander ball when you bell the case mouth to accept the bullet. What I do is I use a 44. It doesn't even touch the inner wall of the case, it just bells the mouth. You want there to be as much tension on that bullet as is possible, because you do get, from the recoil, you'll get some bullet pull if you don't have a super hard crimp. Now, you don't want to collapse the case wall, but you want a super hard crimp. And it's pretty amazing what this grand old cartridge will do if you observe all the rules of loading. And these super powered shells should never be shot in a standard Ruger. Now, we've got a Spear reloading manual, their newest reloading manual here, and it takes the 45 in the Ruger up to about 1,200 feet per second with the 300 grain bullet. Well, that's a lot. I mean, that's roughly equal to what the same manual says with a 300 grain bullet from a 44 Magnum. Yet it's doing it with lower pressures than the 44 Magnum. Now then, in a super strong cylinder like this with really excellent brass, we're thinking we can probably take that 300 grain bullet up to 14, maybe 1,500 feet per second, which is pretty doggone smoky if you ask me, in the same class with the 454 Kazoo. But again, this is not going to be for everyone. It's going to be for a limited group of us out there. Of course, what we're doing today is demonstrating the capabilities and the accuracy of the gun. They really do shoot well. I'm certainly impressed. Realize, I believe the gun will probably go 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches at 25 yards. If I hunt around for a load, maybe try different bullets, I think it'll probably do that, because it really seems to want to shoot really well. And that is plenty accurate for deer size game out to 100 yards, certainly. Some of you might want to scope one of these guns, and we really might find out what they would do, but I am certainly impressed and pleased with the accuracy so far.
My name is Jim Willey. I'm here today to introduce you to the Little Freedom Association. Our goal is to unite the citizens of this country together to promote and protect our Constitution and our constitutional rights, especially the Second Amendment, because it's what protects the rest of them. If we took all the patriotic, moral, law-abiding citizens and joined them together, we would have the single largest group in the nation. I can't see how anyone out there could not be concerned about our Constitution. For sign-up or more information, we may be contacted at P.O. Box 1436, Craig, Colorado, 81626. Phone number is area code 970-824-8771. I'd like to thank Johnny and the judge for the time on this show today, and I'd also like to thank everyone out there.
Friends, we want to remind you about the first annual Houston Ladies Charity Classic Handgun event. It's for women only, produced by the Women's Shooting Sports Foundation and benefits the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's going to be in Houston on November 16 of this year. Guns will be provided by Smith & Wesson, ammunition by Federal. A $65 entry fee includes lunch, ammo, free drawings, and free instructions. Give them a call at area 713-584-9907. Again, 713-584-9907 to find out information or register for the first annual Houston Ladies Charity Classic Handgun event. Now, friends, this is my old Super Black Hawk, which really good old gun, to tell you the truth. It's done a lot of shooting. And let's take a look at it in recoil. Now, I've got a 240 grain jacketed hollow point bullet. This is a full charge load. And let's look at it in my hands as we speak. See, just not a whole heck of a lot of recoil. Now then, let's take essentially the same package, but I think, well, there's not going to be very much difference in weight at all. The 45 may be a little bit lighter because the hole is bigger, but then the cylinder is going to be a little heavier. And let's try the Bisley in this 45 Colt load, 260 grain bullet moving 1,450 feet per second. So we've got a heavier bullet running about 100 feet per second faster. Let's look at it.
probably a little more recoil. Now as you go on up, now this basically grip is supposed to lessen recoil some. Of course I got this glove on, it really doesn't hurt at all. But this is the past recoil glove, has a special material here in the palm, and it's really an aid on shooting these big guns. It's certainly helpful if you go out and you have a long session like we shoot a good many of these things here on the program, and it really does save your hand and your wrist there. Just no point in stressing them out. Anyway, a little more recoil, but our friend says the 412 grain bullet has some pretty serious recoil there, but in this sort of range, and I think even with a 300 grain bullet at say about this same velocity, 1450 or so, it's not going to be unshootable. It would not be suitable for someone who did not have a very strong platform here. Maybe I've seen some women shoot the 454 Casull, but it's not going to be for the amateur shooter, any of these super-powered cartridges. Now friends, a lot of us would be carrying these guns as hunting handguns. The single-action revolver really has an awful lot going for it, not the least of which is reliability. The best of the semi-automatics, remember, every mechanism can malfunction, can jam. The semi-automatics, as good as they are, and these Grizzlies are really nice guns, but still, by the way they work their mechanism, they're not going to be as reliable. No semi-automatic, in my experience, is as reliable as the revolvers. Now, the revolvers can mess up too. On these Rugers, what you have to watch is the base pin coming out, and Ruger has issued somewhat of a fix on that, but I think I would recommend going with a heavier spring here on the retaining latch, or possibly getting one of the optional base pins here, cylinder pins, with an Allen screw, or with a screw that locks it into place on the barrel, because when Bill Ruger designed these guns, I don't think he really realized what some of the folks are going to do with them. But it'll just depend on your gun. You can take it and try it, but that's about the only thing you really have to watch out for on these big single actions is the base pin. I've had pretty good luck with my old 44 Magnum, but again, you don't have quite as much recoil as you do on these 45s when they're loaded up hot. So let's do a little timing here. Let's think about, of course, our other option would be to carry one of these guns as protection against the large bear. Now, mountain lion or cougar has made a comeback in a lot of areas. In fact, we heard the other day about a cougar that had killed this woman, because they're not afraid of people. They've been endangered and protected for a long time, and in some areas I know they're protected. In some areas there are hunting seasons on the cougar. I'll tell you what, friends, if a cougar had a hold of one of my kids, endangered, protected, I mean, we'll argue about it later. But if an animal like that is attacking somebody in my family, well, I'm gonna shoot and then stop it, and then we'll argue about it later. But the federal government has got to get a grip on some of this. It's got to get back to reality on some of these things. Anyway, let's take our 44 Magnum single action, and let's go to a clinch situation. We have to have two shots rapidly. We want to have two shots quickly, and this could be an animal maybe that would be running, or one that we had literally to stop. Maybe we had a bear after us on the hunting trip, on the fishing trip, something like that. And this has been known to happen. I've heard stories of bears coming in tents, bears coming in the camp house, or maybe it would be a rapid, maybe a hog hunt. So anyway, what we've got to do here is hit two targets here in a relatively, certainly a direct area. This circle here, a little bit bigger than my hand, but we've got to do it quickly. We've got our timer on. Let's just see how these guns stack up. Let's use our 44 Magnum single action here for control. Let's see what it does. And we'll start, I'll get ready, and we'll start from the low ready position. Of course, it's going to keep on beeping. Here we go. Now, surprise beep. Two shots. Okay, 1.32 seconds. With good hits. Here, like I said, a little bit bigger than my hand, spread out there. Tape our target. And my glove may be slowing me down a little bit.
remember, only hits count. Misses don't count, only hits count.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Gun Sight Training Center.
Front sight. Get it off. Ready? Grip!
People have a tremendous change in attitude here.
Go down to your target, stand about 1 meter back of your target, do not taste it. Do not taste it. Relay 2, 7-meter line.
Then you go on down to a standard prone.
The methods taught here at Gun Sight have set training standards throughout the world. Defensive weaponry techniques afford the greatest speed, power, and accuracy. Students attending Gun Sight are afforded the luxury of having an on-site custom shop for immediate service or repairs. It is a full-service gunsmith operation, performing the highest quality of custom modifications on all types of firearms, handguns, or long guns. And the Gun Sight Pro Shop, a retail service dedicated to providing the best shooting products and items available in the world today.
Now, friends, for information on the Gun Sight Training Center, on their custom shop, or on their pro shop, give them a call, area 520-636-4565. Area 520-636-4565. Get a catalog, get information on their custom shop, or on the tremendous stock in their pro shop. They're some of the finest people out there, friends. If you go to Gun Sight Training Center, you will definitely come back knowing, one, how to shoot a gun and how to better protect yourself in this dangerous world we live in. Well, friends, I'm holding some copies of the New American here, the New American magazine. This is the new cover, and I'll tell you what, friends, this is absolutely one of the finest news magazines available anywhere at any price. You get news from around the country, around the world. You also get behind-the-scenes reporting at what's really going on and who's making the news happen. This is an excellent buy, $22 for a 6-month subscription. It comes twice a month. Give them a call, 1-800-727-TRUE, a good name, a good number for the New American, 1-800-727-8783 for the New American, and please tell them you saw it on the Shooting Show. You know, friends, one of the specific reasons for the Shooting Show was to help prevent accidents with guns all over these United States. Today, we're absolutely in danger of losing our rights to have guns, and every time there is an accident, well, here comes hue and cry from the anti-gun type. So we have a great new videotape that is devoted to gun safety and handling. This would be a tremendous Christmas gift. It would be a great gift for anyone if you're enrolled in a concealed carry a program anywhere. This could really be a help to you. You can order our Shooting Show gun safety and handling tape. It's only $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling. Call Bobby, 1-800-728-8486. Again, 1-800-728-8486, and order our new Shooting Show gun safety and handling tape today. Okay, excuse me, get our Grizzly in order here, 45 Win Mag. Same drill. Now, nothing's going to be running faster shot to shot than this semi-automatic, or the good double-action revolvers will be comparable, but let's just see what it does from low ready position here. Safety on. Okay, 1.07 seconds, which is pretty good. A powerful load, a little quicker than the single action, but not that much quicker, just a couple of tenths, literally about 2 tenths or 25 hundredths or so slower, which is not that terribly much. Now then, let's take our Phillips & Rogers super-powered 45 and realize we're shooting a more powerful load than this Grizzly 45 Win Mag or our 44 Magnum. And let's see what it does. From the low ready position. Okay, friends, and good hits. Dead center here, 1.18 seconds, so maybe it was the Bisley grip. Realize I'm only a tenth of a second away from the semi-automatic with good hits and more power. So maybe that grip, there is something to that grip, possibly over my old Super Blackhawk standard grip here. But that just gives you an idea of the times that you can get, and which leads me to say that really, for what we're talking about here, there's no practical difference as far as accuracy goes and speed. The reliability of the revolver, I think, will actually take over and cancel out the slight increase in speed and certainly an increase in reloading time. But typically, if you've got an animal after you, you're not worried about the reload. You're worried about getting him what's in the gun. Friends, for information on the Phillips & Rogers conversions on Ruger handguns, also their other product line, which includes the Medusa revolver, give them a call, 1-800-682-2247. Again, 1-800-682-2247. Another neat thing about the Phillips & Rogers conversions, friends, they fix it where when you open the loading gate on the Ruger, the cylinder will turn either way. And rather nice thought, if you ask me. Well, it makes it simpler. It does make it simpler to those of us who've let the cylinder go too far and had to go back up on the Rugers. It is a nice feature. Well, I tell you what, I'm really impressed with this conversion unit. As we get in some of these other things, the super heavyweight bullets, we'll try and do another feature and keep you updated on just what they, in fact, will do. So, the Ruger Bisley with the Phillips & Rogers Super Duty 45 Colt conversion. Yes, indeed. Watch out. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Heck, having fun with it's reason enough to own it right there. Friends, I just got a fax in from the good folks at Barcelini & Wilkins and realized they're helping to sponsor our radio program on the American Freedom Network. You can get our show on shortwave 9.475 on Sundays from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern. Also, it's available on Galaxy 6, channel 14, 5.8 audio. And the American Freedom Network is an absolutely tremendous radio network with great programming all during the week, and certainly we're very pleased to be on there Sunday. And Barcelini & Wilkins is one of our sponsors there. We want to put in a word for them here today. It says here, our company, Barcelini & Wilkins, will place our clients in the premium, spot-free, private, non-confiscatable, very important, $20 gold pieces, and price is only one of the criteria you should look for in numismatic gold coins. They deal in numismatic gold coins. And they have an interesting verse here. It says, a prudent man sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. Proverbs 22:3. The danger we have today is in the paper money system because nothing stands behind our money. So take steps today to protect your family's assets. Call Barcelini & Wilkins at 1-800-497-6531. Again, 1-800-497-6531. It's a free call. They have a free information pack they will send you. So, friends, it certainly helps us here on the program, but it'll also help yourselves. Give them a call today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim Starr. He is a real black powder shooting and hunting expert. And Jim, you have a new tape, don't you, that you're going to be selling, marketing about black powder?
Yes, sir, we do. The best of black powder.
Well, friends, this is excellent. It's 90 minutes of informative and interesting information about what black powder guns will do and what you can do as a black powder shooter and hunter. And we highly encourage you to order it. Here's how to get information and order the tape. Now friends, this is a tremendous black powder video. It's 90 minutes in length, telling you everything you ever wanted to know about black powder shooting and hunting. You can give them a call at 1-800-979-0161. Again, 1-800-979-0161, extension 148. The tape is $19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling. They accept money orders, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, and Discover. So this is a great tape to add to anyone's library. I know you'll enjoy it and get a lot of use out of it. You know, friends, it's rare in any field of manufacture that one particular company has a clear-cut advantage over the others. Well, in this case, it's Corbin Ammunition, Corbin Bullet Company, because they make the best handgun, long gun, and even some specialty caliber ammunition that's been real hard to get in the past. If you really want your handgun or rifle to perform at their absolute best, you need to find some Corbin ammunition. For information on where you can get Corbin, information on their product line, call them. Corbin Bullet Company, 1-800-626-7266. Again, give them a call. It's a free call, 1-800-626-7266. Trust me on this one. Corbin is the best there is. You know, friends, whether you want to be out on the range enjoying your .22 long rifle, or maybe you want to shoot a 9mm or a .38 special, or maybe you want to shoot a bigger caliber like a .44 or a .45. Or maybe you want to see how your rifle or handgun groups. Simple matter to put up the target stand here. For information on the tremendous shot stop target systems, give them a call. Their phone number, 1-800-444-2038. Again, the shot stop information, 1-800-444-2038. The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Friends, we hope you're enjoying our program. We're certainly pleased to be bringing it to you. This is my esteemed colleague, Leroy Scott, and of course, I'm Johnny Rowland. And let me remind you that our program will be moving to Channel 3 on the satellite, away from Channel 18. Some of you will be seeing this on Channel 18 because this weekend it's running on both channels, Channel 18 and also on Channel 3. So make a note that this will be a permanent move, as we understand it from our uplink people, that they're moving us to Channel 3. The gospel show is going to remain on Channel 18, but this program will remain on Channel 3 on Telstar 401. Well, sir, a lot going on, isn't it?
Johnny, so much going on you hardly know where to start.
Now, friends, some of you may wonder why we devote time each week to the political setting. The reason is that we, as conservative Americans, have literally let this situation get out of hand. And we're going to tell you some things maybe you don't want to know, but these things have to be dealt with if we're going to remain a free country, certainly if we're going to remain a democratic republic. And that's why it is so important and especially crucial now. What do you think about what's going on in Iraq? What is Slick up to?
Well, my personal opinion is he's trying to look real good so he can win an election. And my personal opinion also is that if it turns out he's looking bad, he's going to declare it a national emergency and cancel the elections. That's what I think of it.
Now, friends, this is serious stuff. And of course, we as always would and will be in support of the American military in whatever its endeavor is. The problem is we have someone here directing this thing that we don't really think is maybe qualified to direct the military. In the past, he said he loathed the military. I mean, this is what he said.
He doesn't mind using them.
But he doesn't mind using them. That is something we're very concerned about. Well, sir, what's up especially this week?
Oh, Johnny, like I said, I've got so much I hardly know where to start. Facts from the National Rifle Association, 2-page facts. That's unusual for them. They're starting off their campaign with a kick in the pants for gun owners. And now they're calling for Brady 2. Do you know what Brady 2 is?
Well, I've got some ideas, but I'm sure you can tell us better than I can.
Well, among other things, it creates an arsenal license for anybody that has over 20 guns. You can bet that in a few years it'll go down to 10 or maybe 5. If you're a gun collector, it means $300 a year for an arsenal license. Or, same thing, if you've got 1,000 rounds of ammunition or more. That's 2 bricks of 22s.
That's true. Friends, you can go to one of the discount stores and buy a couple little boxes of 22 long rifle ammunition and have 1,000 rounds. And believe me, if you've been out there plinking on Saturday, you know that 1,000 rounds, you can go out and 200 or 300 rounds in one session is just real easy on a 22, and you would have to have an arsenal license.
Well, if you fire in a small bore match, you're going to use up, as I recall it, about 400 rounds just in that match. And that's with a single shot rifle.
Not even thinking about practice, not even thinking about it. So, friends, this thing has got to be stopped because Clinton and the mistress of gun control, Miss Sarah Brady, I tell you what, it hurts me to even say that. I mean, it really does. But, friends, they have plans for you and I and the judge and all of us as gun owners that we don't want.
Well, if you've got an arsenal license, you're subject to unannounced, warrantless inspections by BATF agents.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, searches in your home. Come on in, everybody's gone to bed. Sure, scare the daylights out of the kids, frighten your wife or whoever to death.
Johnny, there have been a number of cases of just such things as that happening. And most of them are cited in that updated version of The Myth of the Right and Left.
Really a very fine book, and now we don't really know what the status is on publication on that, but it is really excellent.
Well, we'd like to get it published, but it's going to take about $8,000 to publish it for the first 10,000 copies. I wish it could be done before the election, but it's almost impossible. It could be done, but it's almost impossible at this point. Brady 2 wants to increase the taxes you pay to buy handguns or handgun ammunition by an amounts of 30% and 50% respectively. They want to lengthen the waiting period for a handgun, so you can only buy one in any 30-day period and apply it to ammunition also. If you don't believe that your rights are being seriously affected here and are being seriously proposed to be affected, then you've been sleeping. You haven't been listening to us. Here in, you don't know how far some of these things have gone. For example, in New Jersey, President Whitman has signed a bill that any vehicle over 4 years old will be required to report to new centralized testing facilities for enhanced emissions inspections. Any vehicle that fails has to be taken off the road. No appeal. But it's against the law in most counties in New Jersey to keep an unlicensed vehicle on a privately owned driveway. You can't keep it on your own driveway, on your own property, even though you're not using it, it's unlicensed. Of course, it's going to absolutely criminalize the hobby of old car collections. And I've only had a little time to read this, but this is an interesting publication. I can't pronounce it. Okanogam.
Okanogan.
Okanogan County Citizens Coalition. It was sent to me by our good friend Betty White in Washington. She is a leader in the attempts to limit the power of the federal government and to limit the erosion of our rights.
Well, and the reason we brought up about the cars, this is what the government is doing, in this case the state government, that really is going way beyond any sort of rights that were originally set out for the government to have. It's absolutely, the EPA, just like some of the ludicrous things that the Environmental Protection Agency is doing, government has literally, and I suppose that the only reason we haven't had any sort of open revolt as far as anything like that, it just hasn't happened to enough people on your block. It hasn't happened enough. We've had a tremendous number of incidences of things happening, but it'll be in one area. It won't be all over the nation at once. And just like taking these guns away, we can look right now at what's happening with tobacco. Now, I'll be the first to admit that the position of tobacco as being necessary to life is hard to defend. But you can look at what's happening to tobacco as what is happening to us as gun owners. Now, the gun owner position is completely defensible. It's even written in our own Constitution. But you can see how the liberal, the do-gooders, literally are set on taking tobacco away from everyone, and they're doing it in increments. First of all, Judge, you remember it wasn't, we couldn't smoke, someone couldn't smoke, maybe they were set aside in restaurants. And now you had places in the building. Now you can't smoke in a building. And we can just see how the encroachment, one brick at a time, is building up until tobacco will be completely outlawed.
Well, it's not just tobacco that's going to be outlawed. You're going to find efforts to outlaw guns in general. That's exactly what they intend to do. And they have been audacious enough to admit it until they found out that was a very unpopular thing to admit. And so now they claim, well, all they want to do is keep it out of the hands of criminals.
Right.
Of course, if they could make criminals of all of us, they'd keep it out of all of our hands.
Sure.
Wouldn't it? The extent of invasion is almost indescribable. For example, in Virginia, there's a state park called False Cape State Park, which is surrounded by the Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge. Well, that's fine. State Park was there first. When the federal refuge was created around it, they assured people that they'd always have access to the Virginia State Park. Last year, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services announced they were going to cut off access to the Virginia Park except for very limited trips through a large part of the year. Virtually nobody could pass through it. This is an example of what they can do. Their attitude was, too bad, this is the way it's going to be.
Well, let's mention the wetlands deal while they're at it. Now wetlands are classified as any place where there's consecutive water. There's water for 7 consecutive days between 6 and 18 inches under the surface. Well, this is crazy, and literally they've taken people's lands away because of an invasion of one woodpecker somewhere, and that's in the book over here we were talking about earlier. The man was shut down 1,000 acres. I mean, he said, no, you can't do anything. I mean, and his 1,000-acre investment was absolutely down the drain because one woodpecker, decided to fly in and live there. So now his 1,000 acres is off limits. This is crazy.
I'm not going to let one of these sessions go by without talking about some of my friends. Woody Jenkins is now in the polls, #2 in the
race for senator.
In the race for senator from Louisiana. He'll be the first Republican senator that Louisiana has ever sent. Let me tell you something about Woody. In the first place, everybody could help him some by sending him some money, because I remember a political public relations man who once told me that 3 things were necessary to win elections: money, money, and money. It takes money. It costs $25,000 a day to stay on television, throughout the state. And gee, in some states it probably costs a lot more than that. Wood is 49 years old. He has authored more than 200 major conservative bills that have become law. He's never voted for a tax increase. I'm not sure he's ever voted for a tax, but certainly never for a tax increase.
Well, let's give Woody's address and phone number. It is Jenkins for Senate, 1996, 660 North Foster Drive, Suite C201. Again, 660 North Foster Drive, Suite C201 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Again, Baton Rouge, and that zip code is 70806. And we'd certainly use any help that he might get. He is a very fine person and would be an excellent defender of our firearms rights and also our freedom, our American constitutional rights. And this may be really the only hope we've got is in the House and in the Senate from with some of these people going in.
Well, I could talk for a long time about a lot of people that are just that way. Helen Chenoweth, for example, in Idaho, and she's being vigorously fought by the AFL-CIO. She has an attorney who's a Democrat running against her. I don't know what his views on anything are, but I know what Helen Chenoweth's are, and she is okay. The Congressman Stockman in South Texas, southeast Texas, I guess it is, it's around Houston, is the man who defeated the principal author of the crime bill, and did it where nobody ever thought he could do it. And then Scarborough, Representative Scarborough in South Florida, Florida 1st District number 1. He's the one that wants us to get us out of the United Nations.
Well, that would be great.
And if you want to see something about things like that and the reasons why, this Citizens Committee thing that we just read from a little while ago from Betty White, that she sent it to us. That's at.
Let's give her a phone number up there. If you'd like to see this, you can call area 509-422-5428. Again, this Citizens Coalition, OC3 Citizens Coalition, area code 509-422-5428. So something that it is an excellent, looks to be an excellent little publication there.
You know, there are a lot of us, and I'm one of them, that hates to join a bunch of organizations. I don't have time to go to meetings. My evenings are already crowded enough, but it is later than it's ever been before, and it's time that some of us do some of these things. If you're not a member of the National Rifle Association, join. If you're not a member of Gun Owners of America, join. If there's any problem about how to join or where to call, then call us on our 800 number. You've got ours. That's 1-800-728-8486. 1-800-728-8486.
Is that the Save You Gun number?
Yes.
We'll act as a clearinghouse for all of these things if you'll just try us and let us. But get active, get your neighbors active, get your friends active, and don't forget, it can happen here.